You're up, sir. I call to order the Westlake City Schools Board of Education organizational meeting for Monday, January the 11th, 2021. Roll call.
Blazinski,
Here.
Kraft,
Here.
Fanukin,
Here.
Piernot,
Here.
Stoll.
Here.
If you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you're joining us tonight via the web, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
For the record, I have Piernot as the move, Fanukin as the second. Piernot,
Yes.
Fanukin. Fanukin, you're on mute.
Mute. Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Blazinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
At this time, we have a hearing of the public, and seeing that no one is here to speak to the board, I will move on to number 2, election of officers, and if I may, I'll pass that on to Treasurer Hopkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, we have for our organizational meeting, the first pieces that we want to take care of are election of officers. So at this time, I would call for nominations to the officer of board president. If I may nominate Dr. Bob Stoll. Is there any other nominations for board president? Hearing none others, I would ask that we vote on Dr. Robert Stoll for Board of Education, or President of the Board of Education for the calendar year 2021. Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Blazinski,
Yes.
Piernot,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Congratulations, Dr. Stoll. You are board president.
We may have to verify those.
At this time, I'd like to do the oath of office for you, Dr. Stoll. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Robert Stoll,
I, Robert Stoll,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as president of the school board in and for the said Westlake City School District, Westlake, Ohio,
as president of the school district in and for the said Westlake City School District, Westlake, Ohio,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and hereafter to be enacted
and hereafter to be enacted
during my continuance in said office
during my continuance in said office
and until my successor is elected and qualified.
and until my successor is elected and qualified.
Congratulations, Dr. Stoll.
Thank you.
All right, we also have a process of electing our board vice president. So at this time, I would like to call for nominations for the office of board vice president.
I'd like to nominate Joe Kraft.
Are there any other nominees for the office of Board Vice President? Seeing none, I would like to call for a vote on Joe Kraft as Vice President of the Board of Education for calendar year 2021. Fanouken,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Piernot,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Mr. Kraft, if I could do the oath of office for you as well.
You bet.
Would you like to stand up? Or I would. I, Joseph Kraft,
I, Joseph Kraft,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my
and
duties
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties
as Vice President of the School Board
as Vice President of the School Board
in and for the said Westlake City School District, Westlake, Ohio,
in and for the said Westlake City School District in Westlake, Ohio,
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and in accordance with the laws now in effect
and hereafter to be enacted
and hereinafter to be enacted
during my continuance in said office
during my continuance in said office
and until my successor is elected and qualified.
and until my successor is elected and qualified.
Congratulations, Mr.
Thank you,
Kraft.
thank you.
That was for both Bob and Joe.
Do we still have Bob with us?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, because he's disappeared from my screen. I thought maybe he left now that he's elected president.
no.
No, it's still there.
Okay.
And I've been having internet sporadic in and out all day today. So if I'm not here, don't miss me too much.
I do,
Bob, here you go.
he's handing
What's
you the
that?
gavel.
Okay.
I do have one other item that I would like the board to consider here tonight. I have a resolution to authorize the CFO treasurer to file Form 904. This is a form of the certification of members and officers of the Board of Education. It lists each of your names, your mailing address, and when your term expires. If there are any corrections on it, please let me know. If not, if I could have a motion to approve the resolution to authorize the CFO treasurer to file Form 904.
So moved.
Second.
For the record, I have Kraft as moved and Piernot as the second. Any discussion? And I will call the roll. Kraft,
Yes.
Piernot,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries. And at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to our new president, Dr. Robert Stoll.
Okay. Well, thank you. Our first order of business is to look at the board meeting calendar for 2021. And we have a resolution to adopt that. Do I have a motion to approve the calendar for 2021?
So moved.
Second?
So if I may, the calendar is based on continuing with the second and fourth Mondays of each month. There are some exceptions because of holidays or breaks, but they are listed there for the board to approve. You will notice, because of the continuing pandemic that we're in, the locations are all to be determined, and we will either post the locations and have them board approved at a later time, or we will continue to give public notices before each meeting to list the location. Would you like me to call a roll, Dr. Stoll?
Yes, let's vote on the calendar.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Piernot,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, at this time, the next thing that we need to do is establish a board service fund. We need a resolution for that. Typically, what we do is we have a service fund to be established in the amount of $4,000 for the calendar year beginning January 1, 2021. This is something that we set aside. We do this every year, and we have a service fund established, as you can see in the agenda. Any comments or questions on that?
I need a motion before discussion, Dr. Stoll.
Okay, we need a motion for a resolution to establish a board service fund.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, anybody have any comments or discussion items?
We typically have a surplus on an annual basis or no?
We do have a surplus on an annual basis. This covers professional development opportunities for board members directly and only board members.
Yeah.
So this covers our OSBA annual conference.
Yeah.
It may also cover, sometimes we'll have new board member orientation that
Sure.
somebody will go to, but we typically do not meet this full amount.
Fantastic, thanks.
Can we have a vote on this?
So one question, does the leftover then just resort back to the general fund?
Yeah, this is out of the general fund, so any money that's not spent would just roll back into general fund dollars.
Okay.
Shall I call roll?
Okay. Yes, let's call a vote.
Lazinski,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Piernat,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, 3C, the next order of business is a resolution to appoint board members as OSBA delegate, legislative liaison, and student achievement liaison. Normally, what we do is we have one person volunteer, and then we have an alternate in case they cannot attend. On all of these committees, we can only have no more than 2 members. Otherwise, it becomes a full board meeting when we go beyond that. So the first thing that we have is an 2021 OSBA delegate to the annual conference. Do I have any volunteers for that?
May I ask a question, Dr. Stoll, first?
Yes.
Has anyone on the current board not served as OSBA delegate yet?
I've been an alternate, but not the primary.
Sounds like John just volunteered.
Delegate, John?
I've been a delegate.
I've been a delegate.
Me too.
May I nominate Mr. Fanouken as the board delegate?
He agrees. And do we want an alternate on that committee?
I would ask that okay, you'll volunteer as the alternate?
Volunteer as the alternate.
Thank you.
Okay. Should we go through all of these, Todd, or do them one at a time?
No, so
For voting.
these 3 we can do on one vote as soon as we have the names
Okay.
filled out.
I'll volunteer.
Got it. So the next thing we need is a board member for the 2021 OSBA legislative liaison.
I'm willing to be.
Again, we need,
Liaison.
okay. Any other volunteers? Do we have an alternate?
I would be happy to be the alternate.
Very good, Joe. Anybody else?
Do we need an alternate for those positions?
We don't,
Yeah, we
for
could-
OSBA, we ask for an alternate because we do want to have somebody at the meeting. We don't need one for the legislative liaison, but if Mr. Kraft wants to volunteer, that's fine that we have him listed.
Do you want 2 liaisons?
We could have you both listed as liaisons, co-liaisons.
I'd be happy to be the legislative liaison along with Mrs. Piernat.
Okay, and then the last thing on this item, we need a board member for the 2021 OSBA Student Achievement Liaison. And here we typically do not have an alternate. Any volunteers? I will volunteer for this one if there's no other volunteers. Any other volunteers? Okay. So that we've filled those slots, do we need to vote on this, or do we need a resolution first?
We do. At this point, I need a motion and a second.
Okay. Can I have a motion and a second?
I move to approve Board Organizational Matters 3C.
So, second.
Okay. We need a vote.
Yep.
Discussion.
For the record, I have John Finucane as the delegate, Bob Stoll as the alternate for our OSBA annual conference. For the student liaison, I have co-liaisons of, the legislative liaisons. I have co-liaisons of Liz Pernott and Joe Kraft. And for the student achievement liaison, I have Bob Stoll.
Correct.
Would you like me to call roll?
Yes, please call roll.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Finucane,
Yes.
Pernott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, 3D, we have a resolution to appoint board members to the policy subcommittee. Are there any volunteers that would like to volunteer for the policy subcommittee?
Yes, I would.
I would like to continue on policy also.
You like policy?
Okay. So we have 2 volunteers. Any others? Can I have a motion to approve and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Todd, would you call a roll vote?
Yep, for the record, we have for the policy subcommittee, Barb Lizinski and Liz Pernott. Moved by Finucane, seconded by Pernott. Finucane,
Yes.
Pernott,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is 3E, a resolution to appoint board members to the finance/audit subcommittee. Any volunteers?
I'll volunteer for that.
I'd like to volunteer for that as well.
Okay, John and Joe. Any other volunteers? Okay, can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
So moved.
Mr.
And Todd,
Finucane,
would you call
would
a
you like
roll?
to second?
I'm either first or second.
I
Whichever
have
one.
Kraft as the motion. Okay. So for the
Todd,
record,
would you call
I have John Finucane and Joe Kraft as the finance audit subcommittee. Moved by Kraft, seconded by Finucane. Kraft,
Yes.
Finucane,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Pernott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next item is item 3F, a resolution to appoint board members to the curriculum subcommittee. Are there any volunteers for the curriculum subcommittee?
Yes, I would like to be on it.
I'd like to continue on this curriculum subcommittee also.
Okay. So I hear Barb and Liz. Any others? Okay, can I have a motion and a second?
I move to approve Board Organizational Matters 3F.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, Todd, would you call a vote?
For the record, I have Barb Lizinski and Liz Pernott for 2021 curriculum subcommittee. Moved by Kraft, seconded by Pernott. Kraft,
Yes.
Pernott,
Yes.
Finucane,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Moving to item 3G, we have a resolution to appoint board members to the community outreach subcommittee. Are there any volunteers?
I'd like to volunteer.
Okay. Any other volunteers?
Joe, have you been on this committee before?
I have.
What does it entail?
I will typically, I represent the schools many times at organizations, whether it's Rotary, Elks, things along those lines. Showing up sometimes at city council meetings, but just anywhere where we have an opportunity to interact with the public, various public activities, whether they're arts related or trying to get the board at parades, things along those lines. It's the fun committee.
Thought they were all fun.
I agree, Mrs. Lizinski.
Be a little bit hard this year too with if we're still in a little, COVID
Right.
situation, but
Right.
So other than Joe, are there any other volunteers? Okay, hearing none, I need a motion.
I'll volunteer to work with Joe on this one.
Awesome, thank you. I think you do
Okay,
me.
very good.
That's what I
Might as
want.
well be official.
All right. Yes.
Okay, so then can we have a motion and a second?
so moved?
Second.
Todd, would you call a vote?
For Joe Kraft and Liz Purnott for the Community Outreach Subcommittee, moved by Lizinski, seconded by Fanouken. Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Purnott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to item 3H, we have a resolution to appoint a board member to the Tax Incentive Review Council for 2021. Any volunteers?
I'll volunteer for that.
Okay, John, very good. Any others?
John, can I join you on that?
You're on mute, Mr. Fanouken.
I'm sorry, we only meet once a year, so it's easy to get on the calendar.
So hearing right now, we have two volunteers, John and Joe. Any others? Hearing none, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Todd, would you call a vote?
For John Fanouken and Joe Kraft for the Tax Incentive Review Council, moved by Kraft, seconded by Purnott. Kraft,
Yes.
Purnott,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item of business is 3I. We have a resolution to designate official newspapers for publication of notices as required by law. The two newspapers that we've used in the past is the Sun News, West Shore Sun, and also the Westlake. Okay, can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Todd, would you call a vote?
Moved by Kraft, seconded by Lizinski. Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Purnott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item of business is 4A. We have a resolution to authorize the CFO/treasurer to secure advances from the auditor for funds lawfully due the school district. All right, and this is something that we do every year. We're required by law to do this. And Todd, do you want to give a little explanation of what this is?
Do you want to do a motion and second, and then we can do it in discussion?
Let's get a motion in a second, and then we'll do a quick review and take a
So
vote.
moved.
Second.
All right, so what this is annually, the county, or semi-annually, the county collects taxes. Obviously, probably right around this time of year, or maybe in the past few weeks, you paid your home property taxes. As that money is collected in the county, they're only legally obligated to give it to us twice a year during what's called the settlement, once all the money comes in and they do all the accounting of it. What we're allowed to do is we're allowed to ask for advances. So instead of getting one payment maybe in March when they settle the books on it, we're able to request the advance of whatever has been collected in like January and then again in February, and then we get the settlement in March. Same process in July collections as well. So this allows the money that to come into our coffers, our bank account, quicker than it would normally, and we're legally entitled to it anyways. It's not money that the county doesn't have. It's money that was collected on our behalf, entitled to us. It just allows us to collect it in our coffers quicker.
Very good. Okay. Can I have Todd, would you call a vote?
Kraft,
Yes.
Pure Not,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4B, resolution to authorize the transfer of funds. Okay, can I have a motion and a second? And then
So moved.
we'll have Todd give a quick
Second.
explanation.
I have a motion by Kraft, second by Pure Not. And a quick explanation is this is to advance funds in between our accounts. So you'll see that throughout the year, I may come to the board and ask the board to advance funds from our general fund to another account. We might be running low on funds in one account, or are in the process of collecting it. Maybe you've seen this most recently with like the stadium turf fund, where we have a contract for the advertising of the naming rights. So as we're in the process of collecting that, we advance funds. This allows me to advance it during the month and then bring it to the board for formal approval as quickly as possible with it. So it gives me a little more flexibility, but ultimately it still comes to the board for approval of any of the movements of funds.
Thank you.
And you call a vote?
Kraft,
Yes.
Pure Not,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is 4C. I'll read part of it. Basically, the Westlake City Schools Board of Education places responsibility for the financial management of the district on the CFO/treasurer and superintendent. Some of the things that are involved that they exercise their judgment on, to invest the interim funds, getting the best interest rate, to pay all bills when the goods and services have been received as ordered, to employ and set the salary for personnel, accept resignations on behalf of the board, apply for monies under the guidelines of grant application, everything related to federal, state, and local grants, to sign all contracts of employment that are approved by the board, to authorize releases for purpose of interscholastic athletic eligibility, and a few other areas that they are fiscally responsible for. So I'd like a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second. Any discussion? Okay, let's take a vote on 3C.
I have a move by Kraft, second by Lizinski. Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Pure Not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4D, a resolution to attend seminars and conferences. Okay, so throughout the calendar year, both the CFO and the superintendent are responsible for the management. Board of Education encourages attendance at seminars and conferences for the management team to stay current. So that's what this resolution is about. Can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Todd, would you call a roll?
Moved by Lizinski, seconded by Fanukin. Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item of business is 4E. It's a resolution to approve school attorneys under the Ohio Revised Code 3313.203 and 3317.171. You'll see here attached is a list of 9 firms. Some of these we use more frequently than others, but these are the attorneys that we've used in the past. We use them for various things on there, and we've used these firms, in previous time. So I'd like a motion and a second to approve attorneys.
I move to approve 4E, the resolution to approve school attorneys.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
Moved by Kraft, seconded by Lizinski. Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item of business is 4F, resolution to approve the Board of Education memberships. As you'll see, some of the memberships, the main one is the Ohio School Board Association, the OSB Legal Assistance Fund, the Greater Cleveland Schools Superintendent Association, the Alliance for High Quality Education, and the West Shore Chamber of Commerce. So these are things that we attend every year, and they provide information to the school district. So I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Motion?
Second?
Any discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
Moved by Fanukin, seconded by Kraft. Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4G, resolution to appoint the purchasing agent/authority. The main gist of this is that we allow, as the Board of Education, we designate purchasing agents. In this case, it's the superintendent, Dr. Scott Goggin, and our Director of Business Affairs, David Kosovar. So they purchase on behalf of the board and follow the rules and regulations that we have set out in the board policy. Okay, so I need a motion and a second for 4G.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
I have Kraft moved, seconded by Lizinski. Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item of business is item 4H. It's a resolution to appoint prevailing wage coordinator, asbestos coordinator, American Disabilities Act compliance officer, safety coordinator, and record retention officer. So again, the board appoints Scott Goggin or his designee for the district for the upcoming year. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
Moved by Lizinski, seconded by Kraft. Lizinski,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item of business is 4I, resolution to appoint a Title IX hearing officer, non-discrimination hearing officer, sexual harassment hearing officer, suspension hearing officer, and expulsion hearing officer. Okay. And we approve, again, Scott Dr. Scott Goggin or his designee for the district for 2021. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
Moved by Lizinski, seconded by Kraft. Lizinski,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Kieran,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item of business is 4J, resolution to reaffirm the vision statement and the mission statement of the Westlake City Schools. Okay, I'd like to read both of those. The vision statement, the Westlake City School District will provide a dynamic, student-centered 21st century learning environment. Our district will be characterized by high achievement, actively engaged learners, mutual respect, shared knowledge, pursuit of new skills and capabilities, collaborative learning, willingness to take action, a team commitment to data-driven continuous improvement, and tangible results. The mission statement, we educate for excellence, empowering all students to achieve their educational goals, to direct their lives, and to contribute to society. I'd like a motion and a second.
I move to approve 4J, the resolution to reaffirm the vision statement and mission statement of the Westlake City Schools.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? Hearing none. Todd, can we take a vote?
Moved by Kraft, seconded by Kieran. Kraft,
Yes.
Kieran,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item of business is item 4K, resolution to reaffirm the Board of Education belief statements. Okay, and again, I'm going to read these statements. There's 8 of them. Number 1, leadership and education is not about our district being number 1. It's about striving to make our students number 1. We must develop their schools. We must harness our resources from the outside as well as inside. We must employ the best and the brightest and focus on taking care of students. The rest flows from that point forward. Leadership and education. And number 2, we believe that the Westlake City School District is a superior performing student-focused district. That's an academic. Number 3, our primary responsibility is to ensure that every student is challenged to excel and to achieve at his or her maximum potential. Academic. Number 4, the support of the community is critical to our district's success and will be earned through effective, open, and honest communication and demonstrated results. That's a communication one. Number 5, we have an obligation to preserve the community's assets and to provide a safe, well-maintained environment for learning, falling under facility. Number 6, the administration, staff, and board are partners in the entire educational process for our students and are responsible for removing those barriers which could impact upon the achievement of our students, roadblocks/administrative/staff. Number 7, the administration, staff, and board have a responsibility to work collaboratively in a climate of mutual respect, focusing on student achievement, falling under climate. And last but not least, number 8, extracurricular and co-curricular programs and activities are an integral part of the education process and can significantly contribute positively to the character of our students while bringing significant recognition, pride, and support from the community. Again, that falls under extracurricular/co-curricular. Okay. Having read those, can I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion?
Can we make a minor edit to this?
What do you suggest?
Number 3, and to achieve at his or her maximum potential. Can we just change it to achieve at their maximum potential?
Is that grammatically correct?
No, I don't think so. I think you have to say his or hers.
Just because you're referring to a singular student?
You're using their, changing it to their, referring back to the every student and removing the gender.
Okay. I'm open to anything.
So because I'm going to jump in here real quick because there just seems to be some question. I would think the right way to go right now is we have a motion and a second of this resolution. Ms. Piernot, if you'd like to make a motion to amend this resolution, and then we can, if there's a second for that, we can then vote to amend it. And then we can go back and vote on the primary resolution if that's something you'd like to move forward with.
I would make a motion to amend resolution to change his or her to their.
Second. And if we can discuss, is it grammatically correct?
It is grammatically correct.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
But I'd have to check. It's been a long time since I've been out of the classroom, but I don't think that's grammatically correct. I don't have an issue with, I hope we're not going to the point where we're gonna be arguing about this gender thing. Because I'd have issue with that.
We could put in to achieve one's maximum potential.
That works too.
That works.
And that will get
Since you
rid of-
introduced the Amendment, are you willing to change your amendment
I'm
to,
willing to amend the amendment.
so it would be to, from his or her to
Ones.
ones?
Yes.
One.
One or ones?
Ones.
One's possessive.
Possessive.
Okay.
One.
It would read, and to achieve one's maximum potential.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
So you have a motion and a second on an amendment to change number 3 from his or her to ones. And would you like me to call a roll, Dr. Stoll, or would you like more discussion?
No, I think we can call a roll.
So this is for the amendment, to amend resolution, I think we're on what, 4K?
Okay.
4K, number 3, from his or her to ones. Moved by Piernot, seconded by Kraft. Piernot?
Yes.
Kraft?
Yes.
Fanouken?
Yes.
Lazinski?
Yes.
Stoll?
Yes.
The motion to
Okay,
amend carries. Now we have a motion and a second on the resolution 4K to reaffirm the board of belief statements as amended. Would you like further discussion or would you like me to call roll?
Let's call roll.
Moved by Piernot, seconded by Kraft. Piernot?
Yes.
Kraft?
Yes.
Fanouken?
Yes.
Lazinski?
Yes.
Stoll?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4L, resolution to reaffirm the framework for board operation. And again, I'm going to read these 9 comments. Number 1, the board's first and foremost responsibility is to be the trustee for the education of our students within the financial parameters determined by our taxpayers. Number 2, this board delegates the responsibility of the daily management of the district to the superintendent and the CFO/treasurer in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code. Number 3, this board, the superintendent and the CFO/treasurer will work together as a team for the betterment of the students, district, and the entire community. Number 4, this board is a single unit with 5 contributing members. Number 5, the strength of this board is in its diversity of its members. Number 6, members of this board vote individually but act as one as determined by the majority of the board, including providing support for the decisions made. Number 7, the president of this board acts as the spokesperson for this board. Number 8, members of this board must realize that we cannot be all things to all people. Number 9, the board believes that all people should be treated with dignity and respect. Okay. So I'd like a motion and a second on 4L.
I move to approve 4L, the resolution to reaffirm the framework of the board operations.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
Kraft,
Yes.
Kieran,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4N. This is a resolution to reaffirm the board, the superintendent, the CFO/treasurer essential agreement. And again, this item is on the agenda. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but basically what this says is that, the agreements that we have between the board and the superintendent/CFO/treasurer, we delegate some of those authorities to them, and we work as a team. Okay, and I'd like a motion and a second for 4M.
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a roll?
Moved by Kraft, seconded by Lizinski. Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Kieran,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item of business is 4N. This is a resolution to appoint representative for the Board of Education Public Training Records. The recommended action here is that, we resolve that the Westlake City School Board of Education appoints Scott Goggin or his designee as the 2021 Board of Education Public Records Training Representative for the Westlake City School. So I'd like a motion and a second.
So moved?
Second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
I have Kraft as the motion, seconded by Kieran. I know Mr. Fanouken stepped away for a second. Oh, he's back. All right. So we'll call the roll now. Kraft,
Yes.
Kieran,
Yes.
Fanouken,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4O, the bond of the Board of Education members, Superintendent of Schools, and Director of Business Affairs. Okay, there's a resolution there that we place a bond and not to exceed the sum of $20,000 each. And it really just, protects the board, the school district in general. So I'd like a motion and a second.
So moved?
Moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Todd, would you call a vote?
And I heard the motion. Was it Mr. Fanouken who made the motion? Yes. So moved by Fanouken, seconded by Kraft. Fanouken,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Kieran,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item of business is 4P. Right, and 4P is a resolution to approve liability insurance amount. The administration has secured liability and insurance in the amount of $5 million for each claim and $7 million aggregate of liability insurance for the following groups/individuals, Board of Education members, CFO/treasurer, superintendent, business manager, administration staff, teaching staff, support staff, and volunteers. Okay, so I'd like a Motion and a second on 4P.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, please call a vote.
Moved by Purnott, seconded by Kraft. Purnott,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item of business is 4Q, resolution to approve petty cash funds. The Westlake City School Board of Education approves the following petty cash funds. The Board of Education / Central Office has $250 and Transportation has $200 in petty cash. I'd like a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, can we call a roll?
Moved by Kraft, seconded by Fanukin. Kraft,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Purnott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next item of business is 4R. It's a resolution to approve change funds. The following change funds, under food service, Westlake Elementary, $30, Dover Intermediate Schools, $100, Lee Burnison Middle School, $80, and Westlake High School, $520 for a total of $730. Athletics, Lee Burnison Middle School, $200, and Westlake High School, $3,000 for a total of $3,200. I'd like a motion and a second to approve change funds.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I'll just add real quick that I appreciate you guys considering this. Currently with the pandemic, we're not using these change funds, but this is calendar year 2021.
Right.
So I hope that we get back to some sense of normalcy later in the year. So I do appreciate your consideration of this.
Quick question. So I see food service and athletics. Is there a change fund that's needed for when there's like a drama program? I know musical mode is handled separately, but.
So we handle that a little bit different because these are change funds that are essentially handed out at the beginning of the year, and then they monitor them for the entire year. When we have again, in normal years, when we have a drama event or when we have a book sale, book fair, we do those through just like over the weekend change fund, and it's handed out as an advance to administrative advance. Is how it's handled differently.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, let's take a vote.
Moved by Kraft, seconded by Lizinski. Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Purnott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, that's the end of this meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Would you like to second that?
Second.
Okay.
Okay, can we take a vote?
To adjourn at 6:57 PM, moved by Fanukin, seconded by Kraft. Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Purnott,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
You are
Okay,
adjourned.
that's
We are scheduled for a special meeting to start immediately after this one. So I am gonna, because we're streaming them differently on YouTube, I am gonna ask that we disconnect here, and it will take us a couple minutes to get reconnected and up on YouTube. So we'll see each of you shortly.
very good.